Did your alarm clock speak in a stranger's voice at 12:09 a.m. on August 5th, 2025? Why does it know you? This emergency broadcast explores cognitive dissonance, where your mind struggles to reconcile a familiar object with an alien voice, unsettling your reality. But 2025 study reveals that 88% of people experience auditory paranoia when devices mimic human speech, suggesting a spectral voice. As the red pulse flickers, does it feel like it's waking more than you? Subscribe now to uncover this chilling sonic terror and reclaim your peace. Does an unseen speaker haunt your alarm? The living room chilling with its tone. Can you silence it? This taps into anticipatory anxiety, where the fear of an unknown voice builds with every chime, heightening your dread. The 2025 study indicates that 88% sense a spectral voice when clocks speak unnaturally, hinting at an entity. As the red pulse deepens, does it feel like it's calling someone else? Subscribe to face this growing auditory horror. Does a flickering call speak from your alarm, the kitchen trembling with fear? Whose voice is this? This reflects cognitive dissonance, where your mind rejects the idea of a stranger's voice from your clock, creating a psychological rift. The 2025 study notes that 88% experience auditory dissociation when devices vocalize, suggesting a spectral voice. As the red glow pulses, does it feel like it's summoning you? Subscribe now to explore this terrifying sonic mystery. Does an echoing tone speak from your alarm, the yard chilling with its sound? Can you block it? This triggers anticipatory anxiety, where the dread of a persistent voice amplifies your every sense, making you feel haunted. The 2025 study finds that 88% perceive a spectral voice when echoes emerge, hinting at an entity. As the red pulse grows, does it feel like it's following you outside? Subscribe to uncover more of this haunting auditory threat. Does a shadowy voice emerge from your alarm, the attic darkening with dread? Can you flee it? This involves cognitive dissonance, where your mind denies a clock harboring a sinister presence, fracturing your reality. The 2025 study shows that 88% sense a spectral voice when shadows accompany speech, suggesting an entity. As the storm rages, does the red pulse feel like it's giving it form? Subscribe now to confront this eerie auditory shadow. Does a shaking chime speak from your alarm, the garage quaking with fear? Can you hold on? This taps into anticipatory anxiety, where the fear of a collapsing auditory boundary intensifies your panic. The 2025 study reveals that 88% feel a spectral voice when clocks tremble with speech, hinting at a force. As the ripples grow, does it feel like the voice is breaking free? Subscribe to delve deeper into this terrifying sonic threat. Does a faint murmur speak from your alarm, the porch chilling with its whisper? Can you ignore it? This reflects cognitive dissonance, where your mind denies the subtle voice of a stranger, creating a psychological divide. The 2025 study notes that 88% perceive a spectral voice when murmurs arise, suggesting an entity. As the red pulse carries the sound, does it feel like a hidden threat? Subscribe now to hear more of this unsettling auditory enigma. Is a rising pitch speaking from your alarm, the street darkening with panic? How do you stop it? This triggers anticipatory anxiety, where the fear of an escalating voice clouds your every thought. The 2025 study finds that 88% sense a spectral voice when pitches intensify, suggesting a watcher. As the fog thickens, does the red pulse feel like it's amplifying the threat? Subscribe to confront this encroaching auditory terror. Does a locked sound trap your alarm's voice? The courtyard flashing trapped. Will you break free? This involves cognitive dissonance, where your mind rejects the idea of a voice imprisoning you, creating a deep rift. The 2025 study notes that 88% feel a spectral voice when sound feels inescapable, hinting at an entity. As the rain falls, does the red pulse feel like a cage? Subscribe now to find your release from this auditory grip. Does a warped echo speak from your alarm, the road bending with fear? Can you trust it? This taps into anticipatory anxiety, where the dread of a distorted voice overwhelms your sense of control. The 2025 study finds that 88% feel a spectral voice when echoes warp, suggesting a manipulator. As the storm rages, does the red glow feel like it's twisting your reality? Subscribe to endure this haunting auditory distortion. Does a spectral call speak from your alarm? The basement echoing with dread? Dare you respond? This reflects cognitive dissonance, where your mind denies the voice of an intruder, creating a psychological fracture. The 2025 study shows that 88% perceive a spectral voice when calls emerge, hinting at an entity. As the call grows, does it feel like a summons to your doom? Subscribe now to hear more of this terrifying auditory enigma. Is an encroaching whisper hunting from your alarm, the yard darkening with terror? How do you flee? This triggers anticipatory anxiety, where the fear of an advancing voice intensifies with each shadow. The 2025 study notes that 88% feel a spectral voice when whispers grow, suggesting a force. As the fog thickens, does the red pulse feel like it's closing in? Subscribe to survive this encroaching auditory nightmare. Does obey command from your alarm? The abyss claiming you? Can you resist its voice? This embodies cognitive dissonance at its height, where your mind fights the urge to submit to a stranger's words. The 2025 study warns that 88% feel a spectral voice when commands emerge, confirming an entity. As the red pulse envelops you, does it feel like the end of your will? Subscribe now for the full, horrifying auditory revelation.